Hello everyone and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. My name is Monique and this is my second tarot channel here on YouTube. And I wanted to thank you guys so much for your continued love and support. And if this is your first time to one of my picker card readings, I also encourage you to check out my main tarot channel, Moon Moth Goddess, for those of you that do find that you resonate with today's reading. As I do have a bunch of other picker cards that are also posted on that channel as well. I do offer private readings as well as other services, Reiki, one-on-one tarot instruction on Zoom, intuition building and mentoring services, as well as distance Reiki healing, mentorship. Yes, I think that's about it. So you can find my email down below in the description box, or you can send me an email and I will provide you on more information on booking readings or other services with me. And just keep in mind that I will never reach out to you in the comments or on social media, Facebook, Instagram, or any other platform to offer services to you. If there's someone who's reaching out to you directly through YouTube comments below the videos or on any type of social media, know that it is not me. Okay, so don't send that person money if that person is asking you that they, or telling you that they want you to contact them on WhatsApp or any other email that they put in a comment to you or a message to you. The only way that you can book readings with me is if you reach out to me with the email that I have listed on every single video that I upload. Okay, so just be mindful of that. So today's picker card reading for the channel, we are doing how do I find my purpose? And I often find with clients that I work with private readings as well as the mentoring services that I do offer, that a lot of people are struggling and trying to find out what their purpose is. You know, something that they may feel that you, or I'm saying you might feel that you are in a, let's just say, career, and you're feeling that it's not really fulfilling for you anymore, but you haven't really figured out what your purpose is. So we're asking Spirit today, how do you find it? Like, how do you figure it out? How do we learn what our purpose is? So that is our question for Spirit today. How do I find my purpose? So we're going to be doing 3 different piles today. And I am going to be pulling one of these cards here from the White Light Oracle, which is from Alana Fairchild. I have the guidebook here, the White Light Oracle. So let's pull one of those for each of the piles. And let's see. How do you find your purpose? And then we'll give you a close-up of each crystal with the card that comes out for you. So how do you find your purpose? How does pile number 1, we're going to start with that. Pile number 1, find their purpose. How does pile number 1 find their purpose? So pile 1, we have Alabaster Tablet of Layla. So it's that image there, and you're going to have this little cream colored crystal here. Pile 2 is the Smoky Quartz. So how does pile 2 find their purpose? We have the Ivory Wish Fulfilling Crow for pile 2. And then pile 3 is going to be this black and cream crystal. If I can remember the names of them, then I will put them down below. But pile 3, how do you find your purpose? How does pile 3 find their purpose? Okay, so we have the Deer of Delta. So let's get a closer look for you. So pile 1, we have the Alabaster Tablet of Layla with this cream crystal here. Pile 2, you are the Ivory Wish Fulfilling Crow, and that is with this Smoky Quartz cluster here. pile number 3, you are going to be the Deer of Delta, and that is with this little black and cream crystal here for pile 3. How do I find my purpose? We're going to see what Spirit has to say about that. So if you do feel drawn to more than one pile for this reading today, that is perfectly okay. Do whatever you feel your intuition is calling you to do for this reading today. So the timestamps will be down below. Pause the video if you do need a little bit more time to meditate on the artwork or any of the crystals to see which one you feel is calling you the most. And then I will see you guys at your reading. Hi, pile 1. So those of you that resonated with this card here and this cream little crystal here, this is going to be a reading. So interesting enough, this card here, the Alabaster Tablet of Layla, I will get into the specifics of the card and kind of read a bit of what the information in the guidebook has for this message for you guys. But this is talking about you finding your purpose through the energy of the feminine. Okay, so that is our first clue here with how you find your purpose, your soul's purpose, your life purpose, however you choose to look at that. So let's start pulling the tarot. But yes, that is the first clue. Spirit is saying, how do you find your purpose? Through the energy of your feminine, the inner feminine energy. So let's see. And I will have the tarot decks as well as the oracle decks that I'm using today listed down below in the description box. So I'm going to be using 2 tarot decks, and I'm going to pull 3 from this one here. So pile 1, Spirit, how will pile 1 find their purpose? How will pile 1 find their purpose? Okay, so we do have, wow, we have the Tower and we have the Chariot. Oh my goodness, okay. The Tower and the Chariot. Let's get one more. How will pile number 1 find their purpose? Okay, and then we have the Ace of Fire, which is the Ace of Wands here. And let's go into this one. How will pile number 1 find their purpose? How will pile number 1 find their purpose? We have the Queen of Wands. How will pile number 1 find their purpose? Okay, and then we also have the Six of Wands. Okay, so I am going to pull some oracle cards here as well. I may as well put this here. How will pile number 1 find their purpose? Okay, so we do have the Whale, and it says imagination and emotional memory. How will pile number 1 find their purpose? We also have the Seahorse with fatherly power and constancy. Interesting. They're both water. They both live in the water. So yeah, that to me is, even though this is saying fatherly power here, I'm noticing that both of them are the element of water. And then we have the energy of the feminine here. How will pile number 1 find their purpose? So we do have Aries, Scorpio, Cancer, Leo, Sagittarius. How will pile number 1 find their purpose? We have the Sin Eater. Okay, Sin Eater. I'm just kind of getting this as, and look at that, we have dreams. Dreams, imagination, emotional memory. When I'm looking at this Sin Eater card here, it almost makes me feel like the reason that Spirit is saying here that you are needing to tap into the energy of the feminine is because you've done this before. You've done this before. This makes me feel like remembering, it may even be like for some of you past life, those of you that believe in past life regression, or even paying attention to your dreams, messages that you receive in your dreams. Some of you may be very psychic, receiving some type of downloads, messages from Spirit that you're needing to kind of pay attention to. This makes me feel like there is an element of karma that is involved in this, in that there is something that you're clearing, I feel like, in this lifetime that is helping you from things that you've gone through previously, previous incarnations, and these things that you're meant to clear. And this is why Spirit is saying here it's important with your emotional memory, your imagination, dreams here, paying attention to the dreams, as I feel like these are what Spirit is saying are giving you insight. We have this card, the Sin Eater here, and I have pulled this card before. I feel like it's been at least a couple months though. This might have been a reading that I did for this channel, I think in, I don't know, maybe in November. And I remember this card came out, and it's about kind of like this folk tale or legend about a goat that you go and you talk about your things that you've in a way done wrong, to release yourself of the kind of like, I guess, karmic implications. And this goat would actually take away, that karma from you in a way. So it makes me feel with this energy here that you are someone who is very familiar, I feel like, with your shadow, and it could even be something that is surrounding the feminine energy. Maybe even something that has suppressed the feminine. For some of you, I feel like this is kind of going into not only your past life, but also something that is maybe even maternal. Because we do have the energy of the seahorse, which says fatherly power, it makes me feel in a way that some of you may have some, I don't know why, it's making me feel like of some maybe even abandonment wounds surrounding either parent, mother, father wounds. But this makes me feel like this is something generational. And so there's a lot of you needing to really work towards healing, I feel like, the feminine energy, to be able to find what that purpose is. And I feel like it is something in which you are finding your power here, because the Queen of Wands is a very powerful, confident energy. It is creative and charismatic, passionate, filled with a lot of potential to lead and to, you know, be a trailblazer, a leader, and, you know, with leading with so much potential. And I feel like it's a very powerful energy. So I'm almost kind of feeling like Spirit is saying here that through your dreams, some of you may even like have dreams of yourself connecting, say, like with other people. So I feel like there's messages here in your dreams where Spirit is showing you kind of clues. And some of you, I feel like you may even have dreams of your past lives. And there is a need for you, because this is talking about the energy of the feminine, which is all about you nurturing, mothering the self. For some of you, maybe even reparenting. And this is something that's kind of opening up that energy for you. So I feel like I want to read this message here with the alabaster, and we'll see. 41. Okay. So it says, you are remembering at a soul level. You are tapping into greater awareness, and an understanding of your highest life purpose shall become even clearer to you. This may evoke unsettling changes within you, but that change is necessary for a new way to manifest. You are protected and guided at all times, especially when you feel uncertain about your course. You are truly loved. And it says the angel Layla heralds from Talmudic scriptures. Unlike any other angel, she is specifically described as a feminine being. Layla is a reminder that there is a place only the feminine can fill. If we attempt to live our lives skewed towards the masculine, we will miss out. There is great value in masculine tendencies towards exploration, adventure, progress, and development. However, the feminine tendencies toward compassion, acceptance, kindness, and mercy are a balancing necessity. For humanity to survive, these dual wisdoms need to find balance and integrate into mature expression in every human heart. The appearance of Layla in a reading suggests the feminine must lead at this time. Allow the way to be shown, rather than directing a path based on your current perspective. Layla is a guardian angel watching over all transitions, including the transition of the soul into the embryo during conception, and the guiding of the soul out of the body and into the realms of light where physical life draws to a close. Alabaster was lauded by the ancient Egyptians as a guardian stone, which leads the soul toward the light during times of transition. The alabaster tablet of Layla indicates that you are navigating a significant transition. It may be that your outer life is going through change, or it may be that inner changes are happening within your soul, or both. You may not know how to traverse the shifting inner and outer landscapes, but the oracle advises you that this great angel is guiding you faithfully and effectively. In the Talmud, Layla teaches wisdom to all souls before they are born. She then strikes the upper lip of the infant at the moment of birth, creating the indentation at the upper lip and causing the child to forget everything they know. Life is then the journey of reconnection and rediscovery. The alabaster tablet is a crystalline scripture. Its vibration encourages the soul to seek light and the spiritual path, sparking remembrance of inner truth. It helps us to remember the sacred purpose for which we were born. If you feel out of your depth or in need of more information or understanding, This oracle reassures you that it is okay to not know everything right now. The answers you need shall become clear at the right time. All is within. Okay? So yes, very maternal, feminine, nurturing, right? So it's Spirit saying here that in order for you to find and connect with the purpose, your purpose is connecting in with your energy of your feminine, right? So if you are someone, especially I feel like in today's society, many of us do function from the energy of the masculine, in that we feel, you know, we need to have a job and be successful and make money, and kind of like it's just action and go and discipline and focus and, you know, all of that, where we're meant to kind of be successful and succeed and kind of, you know, climb the corporate ladder in a sense. But it's like Spirit is saying here, in order for you to find it, it is about you reconnecting in with the energy of the feminine. Okay? It almost makes me feel, looking at your energy here too with the tower is huge, powerful transformation. And the tower is also a release of things that are no longer in alignment. And so as you work towards, you know, healing, nurturing the feminine energy, finding your power through your passions, I feel like following your passions, your creative energy, which again, feminine energy, right? Exploring what those passions are, building up your self-esteem, your self-worth, your confidence, I feel like is going to be something that helps you and leads you toward that. So I feel like, because I'm seeing the Ace of Wands here, the Ace of Wands is a spark of inspiration, a spark of creativity, something that has a potential for you to develop into many different things, right? Whatever your heart's choosing is, basically. And with the Chariot energy here, this is about you not only with the energy of the feminine, but also you bringing into balance the masculine. Okay? Because with you tuning into that feminine, the creativity, the nurturing of ideas, plans, things of that nature, you still need the masculine, right? You still need the masculine energy to get things done, because you do have the seahorse here with fatherly power and constancy. So to me, that is kind of like the action-oriented, disciplined part of it, but it all starts with the feminine, right? The ideas, the passions, the creativity. And when we are suppressing that energy of the feminine is when we feel lost. We feel blocked. We feel creatively blocked. We feel like we don't know, right? We feel lost. We don't know what our purpose is. We're not tuned into the intuition, the inner knowing. And so that's where Spirit is saying this energy is so important for you. The things you dream about, right? The things that you daydream about, the imagination. This is, again, your spark of creativity, you know, envisioning yourself, imagining yourself, doing what you love, what you feel passionate about, right? But, and to me, looking at the emotional memory, like I said, for some of you, this is kind of giving me that, like, you've done this in a past life. So a lot of that, again, is tuning into the inner wisdom, the inner knowledge of the energy of the feminine. Kind of, I don't know. It's just like, that's just kind of the feeling that I'm getting here. Dreams. The Six of Wands is also about you gaining recognition, you being in the spotlight, right? So this is Spirit telling you here that through you following that energy and nurturing your ideas, right? Birthing that creativity, feeling confident enough to, and empowered enough to be able to pursue it with that Queen of Wands energy, which is more or less kind of like a don't give up attitude, right? About things and about continuing to focus and move forward with whatever it is that you choose. The Chariot energy is where we balance out both feminine and masculine, right? That is our spiritual energy right there. It is the outward projection of these spiritual energies that we can use to help us to move forward towards a place of moving towards success and towards victory. And I don't know, for some of you, especially with the Chariot energy, I'm getting life path 7 for some of you. Okay? Life path 7. Some of you could even be 1s and 6s. 1s, 6, and 7 is what I'm getting here. What else? 6, we've got 1, 6, 7. This tower energy is 16. That's 7 too. If you did reduce it down, that's a 7. That's a 7. You have 17 here, which is also making me feel kind of like star energy. Some of you, this is healing. Healing the feminine. It could even be that you have a purpose of being a healer. For some of you, I'm getting that as well. But with the Sin Eater here, and of course this will have to be something that you really have to sit and think about yourself, right? What you feel in your heart. But to me, with the Sin Eater here, I'm getting this energy of healing. Some of you are naturally meant to heal, becoming healers. Some of you, this is you're helping people to face their shadows, face their inner demons, be able to kind of overcome vices, addictions, unhealthy patterns of behavior. Is kind of what I'm getting here. Healing, nurturing of the feminine, the gentleness, the compassion. It's a purpose that requires you to, and I'm kind of getting, in a way, service to others. And this is people, you being someone who is meant to stand out for the work that you do. You're meant to have kind of like public acknowledgement, fame, right? In a way, you're meant to be in the spotlight. You're meant to gain huge recognition for the work that you do. And like I said, looking at that, even though this seahorse says fatherly power, I'm noticing that both of them are the element of water, the seahorse and the whale. So to me, this is all very connected into, you know, emotions, intuition, creativity. Some of you may feel very called to the arts, right? Any form of creativity, painting, drawing, mentoring, counseling, therapy, alternative healing modalities, becoming nurses, doctors, as far as conventional type of jobs, right? But taking it kind of like the unconventional route, in that you may decide to go into spiritual work, using your psychic gifts, spiritual gifts, to be able to help you in that way here as well. What else am I seeing this? I'm kind of curious to see what this seahorse says. And this is from the Untamed Animal Spirit Oracle, these two little ones here. I kind of want to see what this fatherly power, constancy, has to say with the seahorse. There's the whale. We want the seahorse. Looks like they're not in alphabetical order. Let's see. Sea turtle, swan, starfish. There it is, seahorse. Okay. So it says, I am the dragon of the water, always the same, stoic. I travel alongside the ancient gods and embody their male powers of care, order, and protection, not authoritarianism. I am small, but constant in the sea currents. Small and constant. That makes me feel like you're finding your purpose through... I'm feeling a lot of it has to do with your own emotions, your own feelings, your own healing. Finding emotional stability, balance, maturity, right? Because this little seahorse basically is like this little tiny little sea creature in the ocean that's kind of riding through all of those waves. And so let's see here. Seahorses are monogamous and unique for a particular reason. The male seahorse is the one that gives birth, not the female. In fact, it carries the eggs generated by the female in a special pocket for about a month and a half before hatching. For this reason, it embodies both fatherly power and gender equality. Wow. Showing us that there are no fixed roles in nature, but rather an extraordinary possibility for collaboration. Right? Which says a lot to me about you finding balance and union, harmony within both of these energies. Right? Because like I said, I feel like many of us, we do function out of one rather than both harmonized, right? And some of you, I feel like, are leading or have a tendency, right, to lead with the masculine versus the feminine. And this is where we feel lost. You know, sometimes, yes, we can be lacking in some masculine energy of getting things done. We could procrastinate and things of that nature. Thanks to its tail, it can cling to anything so that it is not pulled away by the strong sea currents. It is a symbol of constancy. The shape of its body remains the same from birth to adult age. The Chinese believe that the seahorse is a small dragon. It was an emblem of marine gods and represented male authority in ancient Greece and Rome. The fatherly aspect of the seahorse is not tied to being in command, but rather to knowing how to set limits and boundaries with sheer willpower. Setting limits and boundaries. Healthy boundaries. Maybe even with other people. And that makes me also think with using these healthy boundaries, again, within your feminine energy. So I feel like this is very, very beautiful energy. Seas, oceans. Wow. Anything else for that? No. But yes, I definitely feel like Spirit's saying here, through exploring the energy of the feminine, and with the Tower energy, this can be huge change, right? Huge change that affects your world, your life. This Tower energy can also be about realizations, epiphanies, awakenings, right? So some of you going through spiritual awakening, maybe even through exploring the energy of your feminine, is helping you to release any of these patterns of behavior, right? With the Sin Eater, it kind of reminds me of like the devil energy within the tarot. Anything that is blocking you in a sense. Self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging type of behaviors, fears, illusions, things of that nature that are keeping you blocked there, right? But a lot of this to me is you facing your shadow, doing the shadow work in a way that you find your purpose. And for some of you, like I said, I am getting this as purpose of healing, of helping people to heal. And those of you that are Life Path 7, your card from the tarot is the Chariot. Those of you that are Life Path 7. That's why that was so stand out to me. Being that you, with your card, basically, if you want to compare it to a life purpose, the Chariot is, yeah, Life Path 7. I know because it's mine. It's mine. I'm a Life Path 7. And that the Chariot is that. So, like I said, the Chariot is very spiritual in card. The Chariot is also a symbol of freedom. A symbol of freedom. Which means that you have this power within you that is unbridled. There are no restrictions. There is no holding back, right? So maybe for some of you, this is releasing yourself in a way, in a sense, from this, like, just say, Sin Eater energy. Any of those restrictions that are holding back the energy of the feminine. And through you nurturing and being in tune and connected in with your intuition, your creativity, your seeing yourself, right? Seeing yourself in this beautiful space of compassion and unconditional love and nurturing is what gives you your power and freedom to be able to face, I feel like, any challenges that you might have in your life and to overcome them from a place of victory, leading yourself towards success and fulfillment. But to me, that Tower energy is also about you working towards releasing the inauthentic self. You are uncovering your true self with this beautiful balance here, right? Because sometimes when we are leading with the energy of the masculine, it's you know, like it's saying here with the seahorse, it's not in a way authoritative, in that we are can become very harsh or rigid, orderly, in that we are kind of allowing the energy in of the feminine to be. And when I say soft, I don't mean in a way that we are passive and that we are, you know, not having a strong sense of firm ground and boundaries and, you know, being someone who's people pleasing or somebody who is taking advantage of. Because the seahorse is also talking about us learning how to set those healthy boundaries. Okay. So yeah, I'm feeling Spirit is saying here, pay attention to the dreams, nurture the energy of the feminine, allow the feminine to lead. As you allow the feminine to lead within you, it is going to lead you towards your purpose. I feel like your goal here with discovering that is for you to identify maybe what these limitations are for you. And those of you that are fortunate enough to remember past lives, pay attention to your dreams. Because I feel like this here, emotional memory, maybe for some of you, the clue is in that the things that you've gone through in your past, the trauma, the pain, the heartache, anything that is stand out to you that has been particularly challenging for you is a clue for you to what your purpose is. And with as many readings as I do, private readings, especially for helping people to find what their life purpose is, I notice that a lot of this centers around the most difficult, challenging lessons that we have in life. Cycles that you notice they're happening over and over and over again. It can be something that's happening on, like I said, generational, ancestral cycles that you're meant to break. Certain traumas that you might have gone through. You being someone who then turns around and finds purpose in that through your own healing, through your own nurturing of that skill or craft or hobby or passion that you have, or turning your pain or your trauma into something powerful. Like, let's just say if you've been somebody who's gone through growing up in poverty, and as you grow into an adult, you'd start to discover your power through the challenging energies that you've had to deal with, and growing into someone who has become extremely confident and powerful. And then you turn around and there are people that are around you, like cousins and family members and friends, who are like, wow, how did you do this? Like, how did you go from living that kind of life before to where you're at right now? Like, what did you do? How did you get there? Maybe that calling is you becoming a life coach, you becoming a mentor, right? So look at your life and think about those things that have been challenging for you. What have you overcome? Because that Six of Wands is coming after the Five of Wands within the tarot. And the Five of Wands is challenges, conflict, you know, just for some of you, maybe even like comparing yourself to other people and wanting to be like this or like that. And it's like, you're the Queen of Wands. You can do your own thing, right? There's so much potential within you, so much creativity, so much passion, so much drive, so much fire in that energy. Even looking at the Six of Wands here, how the fist is kind of holding onto those wands, like it's proud and strong and powerful. It makes me think of you just being over, like, it's like a victory, right? Success. I've done it. Looking at how powerful she's walking with her dress kind of flowing fast behind her. It's like she's moving in that Chariot energy, right? It is unstoppable. Same as the Queen of Wands. When she focuses on something that she wants, there is no telling her no. That she can't have it, that she can't do it. It's just you keeping up, yes, that energy of the feminine and nurturing those creative ideas, but also using, of course, the masculine energy in a way where you allow the feminine to lead. Okay? Feminine, intuition, creativity. Yes, we stay on course, right? With the little seahorse energy, the masculine. Masculine's there. It's not leaving the feminine side. We're bringing the two of them into balance with the Chariot. But you are allowing your feminine energy to guide you and to lead you towards your purpose, right? So for some of you to say, okay, well, how do I do that? This is working on being creative. Maybe you are exploring the creative ideas, downloads, the things that you're inspired by, because this is how Spirit is going to give them to you, right? We have the dreams and we have the Ace of Wands. The aces within the tarot are divinely guided to us. So when you feel that idea that just kind of like pops up into your mind, take some time to think about it. Write it down so you don't forget it. Explore it. Because Spirit is giving it to you and guiding it to you for a reason. Because your higher self, your spirit guides, your ancestors believe you have the power to do so. You have the power to create and manifest that purpose and follow through with it within this lifetime. And some of you, like I said, I'm getting past life influence here where you've already done this. So soul memories, right? Emotional memory. Maybe for some of you, it could be helpful going into past life readings or past life regression, meditations, and kind of remembering seeing little glimpses of maybe who you were, right? Those of you that are into that, researching that. But yeah, I think that is all that I have for you, pile number 1. I hope that this reading was helpful for you guys in finding you, leading you on the path of finding out what your life purpose is. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next reading. Hi, pile 2. So those of you that resonated with the ivory wish-fulfilling krill and the smoky quartz crystal, this is going to be a reading. So there is a major clue to finding your life purpose that does come in with this little crow here. But I do want to pull your tarot first to see what is coming through for you. So we're getting Spirit's advice, guidance today on how you will find your purpose. Okay, so what you need to do, maybe what you need to focus on, pay attention to, or ways in which you can help yourself to find what your purpose is. So let's see, pile 2. So how will pile number 2 find their purpose? Okay, so we do have strength. We have the Star. We also have the Page of Earth, which is the Page of Pentacles. Okay. And we're going to grab 2 cards from this deck here. And I will have the tarot and oracle decks listed in the description box for you guys. Pile 2. How will pile 2 find their purpose? We have the Ace of Wands. How will pile 2 find their purpose? We have the Knight of Wands. Okay. Okay. And then I am seeing both at the bottom, actually. The other card fell on the floor, but it is the Four of Swords, the Four of Air. So we have the Four of Air, Four of Swords, and then we also have the Queen of Cups. So some of you that do like to meditate or have never tried meditation before and want to try it, the Spirit is giving some guidance or advice of working with meditation practices to bring the mind to a state of calm. And what this is also helping with is actually also tied into this card, and we'll get to that. But the Four of Swords energy, as we are meditating, for those of you that do believe in meditation, we are strengthening our connection to Source. Strengthening the connection to our spirit guides, our higher self, Spirit, God, Universe, Mother, Earth, however, whatever you resonate with. We are opening up and helping ourselves to clear our mind of the clutter, of the thoughts, of the ego. We're giving the ego kind of like a break to let the intuition come through without scattered thinking, thoughts. And sometimes this can be hard, right? For people to just sit down and be calm and not think about bills that we have to pay and, you know, this thing that we have going on in our life and what we're doing on social media and, you know, all of these different things. We're being pulled in many different directions throughout the day. We're busy. So the Four of Swords as your advice and guidance to finding your life purpose is to practice mindfulness, stillness. And those of you that don't believe in meditation, you can do something like this when you first wake up in the morning, before you go to sleep, and just relax. Allow the thoughts to kind of just go away and just give yourself that little bit of time before you start grabbing your phone and before you start, you know, doing other things, is just lay there. Right? Those of you that like to take a bath and just kind of relax, it's that quiet space where we can just give our brain a break, is what Spirit is saying here. Okay? Those of you that do meditate, that it is that meditative practice that will help you to strengthen that connection to Source. Okay? And then we have the Queen of Cups here, which is also very psychic energy. It's our intuition, our creativity. It's also a very healing energy, nurturing the self. Okay, so those clues there that are helping you to find what your purpose is. And then we're going to bring out some other oracle cards, and then I'm going to start talking about this energy here, because this is the major thing right here to help you to find your purpose. And some of you, I'm seeing that this could potentially, for some of you, doesn't have to be, but I am seeing life path 8, 7, and also 1. Okay? 1, 7, and 8. Let's see. Pile number 2. How will pile 2 find their purpose? How will pile number 2 find their purpose? We have the Coyote. Intelligence and unpredictability. How will pile number 2 find their purpose? How will pile number 2 find their purpose? Again, with these, I just need one. There we go. Okay, so we have the dog. Interesting, they're both, we have coyote and dog. Friendship and loyalty. Friendship and loyalty. Let's see. How will pile 2 find their purpose? So I am seeing Leo, Aquarius. We also have Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Protection. I'm seeing how around this little flower here, what is that? Echinacea. There's a little locket around that flower. How will pile number 2 find their purpose? We have resonance here. Resonance. Okay, so what I would like to do, I want to get into your message here, because this is right here. This is the big clue to how you will find your purpose, in addition to what we've got going on with the tarot. But we have the ivory wish-fulfilling crow, and it says, where is it at? It says, you can have what you truly want. Such knowledge helps soften and release fear, grasping control, and doubt. Have confidence that the universe hears your prayers and is even now leading you into that which you seek. You can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection whenever you need stabilization and protection against the fluctuations of the external world. No matter what is happening around you, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. So it says here, and where is it? Okay, so I feel like I need to read all of this because they're not going to make sense if we don't read this. It says, Basunda is the mysterious Hindu sage who assumes the form of a crow and lives atop the magical wish-fulfilling tree, thriving whether there be feast or famine in the world. As a highly evolved supernatural being, he has outlived the ending of numerous world ages. No calamity or cataclysm can shake the powerful divine tree or creatures who live within its shelter. The sacred tree is a place of sanctuary and protection, where no harm can befall any of its inhabitants. The wish-fulfilling tree is a spiritual symbol for the soul, the heart of the divine bodhisattvas, or enlightened sages who guide and protect humanity. It represents a high level of consciousness, which is abundant and in harmony with the universe and therefore blissful, free, and generous. This oracle reminds you that as you align with spirit, you are aligning with a powerful field of grace, which has protective and strengthening qualities. It is a spiritual tonic with effect in all dimensions and all realms of existence. The price for such sacred empowerment is the surrender of one's ego, and that is your ticket right there. The price for such sacred empowerment is the surrender of one's ego. This is a lifelong journey for most of us, rather than a one-time event. We recondition our mind in the ways of spirit again and again. We disentangle our hearts from societal conditioning based in fear, dominance, greed, victimization, of getting one's personal desires met at any cost. We recognize there is a profound difference between taking and receiving. We trust what is destined for us. Okay? So it's basically telling you here that your key to finding what your purpose is dismantling the ego, right? And doing so, knowing that you are protected by spirit, but also your Four of Swords energy is, or I'm sorry, where is it? The other one. Your Four of Swords energy is helping you to strengthen that connection to the divine. Okay? So that you are able to receive the information, the downloads, which are here, that Ace of Wands, also the Star and the Strength card are incredibly, so is the Knight of Wands too, very spiritual energies, right? So if we're trying to get clues and trying to figure out what our purpose is, we have to be connected in to our higher self, into spirit, right? To be able to have those things be revealed, or have that, in a way, soul's remembering of what we came here to do, what our purpose is. And so I'm seeing here with, I feel like looking at your Strength card, the Strength card is about us being able to control, in a sense, the ego's desires. This is our inner spiritual energy. And so when we can control the ego's desires, the immediate things that we want to go after, we want to do this, we want to do that, when we can learn to really bring that and harness that power and that energy and not allow the ego's desires to get in the way, we can then kind of turn or kind of connect back into the wisdom that we hold from within and receive those spiritual downloads, in a sense, from spirit. And another way that I'm seeing this is that you learning to be more confident in your intuition, trusting your intuition. Through your Star energy here, the Star is about trust, faith, belief, renewal, healing, optimism, having faith in the divine, that the divine is leading you towards what your purpose is. But when we kind of are being distracted in a way, I feel like spirit is trying to, in a sense, protect you, right? Through this process of you finding out and uncovering what your purpose is. It may also be you healing certain things, certain aspects within the ego, right? In order for you to gain better control over it versus allowing it to control you. You connect back into your spiritual energy. And I'm seeing here that through you learning how to, in a way, temper the ego and not allow, like I said, it to control you, you work through the healing, right? You're holding trust and faith that spirit is leading you versus the ego leading you. You connect back into your spiritual nature, and as with the Ace of Wands, this information is given to you, is revealed to you through you strengthening that connection to source by being able to filter out those ego-based kind of things that might be happening within you, right? Society, opinions of others, rules, self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging thoughts, behaviors, right? All fear-based. All fear-based. So this is you working through healing that aspect of yourself. And with that, know and trust that spirit is protecting you, guiding you, giving you the insight that you need. I'm also feeling here that this, with the unpredictability, can also be spirit saying here that this can be information that is revealed to you when you are ready for it, right? Sometimes we feel like, I want to know what it is. I want to know what it is right now. And maybe we're not ready for it, Maybe there are other things that we might need to do along our path before this purpose is something that is revealed to us. Okay? So, what else am I seeing here? Okay, so what I'm also getting here is friendship, loyalty, and I'm also seeing resonance here. So another thing that might also help you is the people that you have surrounding you. Good indicators of people, could be family members, friends. It's almost making me feel like there are certain things that you might find yourself in over and over and over again. And this can be a need for you to make sure that the people in the company that you keep surrounding you are people who are still really in alignment for you, right? Because as you work towards aligning yourself with your soul's purpose, you are allowing yourself to release people who are not friends, family type of situations. Sometimes that means setting boundaries with family members, right? If there's a super toxic person or situation that you continue to keep yourself in, this is Spirit wanting you to protect yourself and your energy, right? Especially if there are people here that are surrounding you. Let's just say that those people are friends that are not loyal. This is Spirit wanting you to make sure that everything that is taking place within your life is a resonance for you, for your highest good. And yeah, I'm seeing with the Ace of Wands here, this is Spirit giving you some type of download of inspiration, creativity that has a lot of potential, and you're meant to take this idea and put forth the focus, intention, and energy with that Knight of Wands. Page of Pentacles is about you planting the seed for this new thing, creative project. Maybe it's a hobby. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's a new career. Something that you are wishing to bring about for yourself. But yes, I'm seeing this is kind of, in a way, Spirit's helping you like to find your purpose. It's about you acknowledging what people are surrounding you. And I feel like releasing and letting go of anyone that is not. This is also with the Strength card. It's also Spirit telling you here that you have the ability to conquer fear and the strength and courage. So this can also be you working to learn to be more confident in yourself, to believe in yourself. That when you do receive these little downloads from Spirit, that you feel confident enough to pursue them. That you keep a positive mindset with the energy of the star, that Spirit is guiding and protecting you, right? Because those downloads or those messages can come through at any time, where Spirit is kind of helping to lead you towards your purpose. So I feel like friendship, loyalty with the dog, I feel for many of you is the company you keep surrounding you. It's making me feel like there's importance surrounding you surrounding yourself with higher vibrational connections, people. And recognizing whether or not these people, situations, it could be a job, it could be romantic partners, things of that nature, friendships, to make sure that they are all in alignment for your highest good, in a sense. Yeah, this resonance here is like you being in alignment with Spirit, and that is happening through Spirit saying, through you meditating, right? Through you meditating is going to be something that's very helpful. And those of you that don't believe in meditation, like I said, maybe it is you just giving yourself a little bit of reset during the day, right? Disconnect from people, from social media, from just kind of stop and take a second to just breathe. Let your mind go blank. for 5 minutes, a little bit of a reset, you know, go for a walk, ground. I feel like your energy may be something that's very powerful. But this is also, to me, talking about trust, right? Which is kind of going into that energy of the star. Protecting yourself. I can also be you someone who is, yeah, it just makes me look like the way that she's kind of here. A lot of this to me is very healing. Maybe for some of you it is healing. Healing is the key for you to protect and heal your own energy, to find renewal within yourself. And as you find renewal is how, you know, it's very restorative, especially for those of you that have gone through some very challenging, I feel like, situations in your own life. And being this is something that is restorative. What else is here? I'm also getting unconditional love. Unconditional love. With this energy here, this is also talking about dogs too, also having very psychic energy. Very psychic energy. Because they can also, of course, like the coyote too, right? The coyote's out in the wild, but they can sense danger. They can sense when something is not right, when something is off. And so to me, also with your energy of protection here, it's like you needing to get more in tune with your intuition is a huge message that's coming in here, right? Like I said, with the Strength card, we are calming the ego. We're in control. Right? We're not allowing the ego to control us. So if this is a card of basically ego and being able to control it in a way, right? The ego will always be there. It's not something that's just going to just go away, right? And that's why this card was talking about that for many of us, it's a lifelong thing of dismantling the ego, right? Of being able to kind of shed away layer upon layer upon layer of the ego. And for other, say like Jesus, the Buddha, and I can't think of any other ones right now, but other spiritual beings from past have had that enlightenment as something that was instantaneous, and their ability to be able to share that with others, their teachings, right? Where for us, you know, it is a lifelong process of dismantling the ego, right? But when we can kind of sit and say, okay, I'm trying to figure out what my purpose is, and let's just say you have an idea that pops in your mind, right? Your Ace of Wands shows up tomorrow morning. Spirit gives it to you. What happens? Your ego starts to attack that idea, right? Because of fear, because of doubt, because of uncertainty, because of conditioning. You can't do that. You're not good enough. You don't have enough money. You can't do it because of X, Y, Z. The parents are not going to support you. Friends are not going to support you. It's like all of that outside chatter is basically what this is talking about, right? All the conditioning, the beliefs. So that's where we're needing to kind of really tune into the purpose, is by learning how to, in a sense, kind of control that energy, right? The Strength card is also a card of gentleness and compassion, and we're not trying to force something, right? So Spirit's also saying, don't try to force finding your purpose. It will come to you when you can, in a way, let the ego take the back seat for a second. This is where the mindfulness and the meditation comes in, where you can just really, because your mind, right? The ego is only protecting you. That's the ego's function, to protect you from danger, to protect you from, you know, yeah, that's the best way I can say it. It's trying to protect you. It's doing its job. However, we can start to hold on to those beliefs based off of that. So this is us learning how to say, okay, is this really my intuition that is doing this? Or, you know, is my brain being mean to me? My mind is being mean to me? Once we can learn how to really balance that, right? And not try to force, not trying to control, but just to kind of allow that purpose to be something that is revealed to us, right? So those of you that kind of feel, okay, well, I'm doing something that I don't want to do right now, and I really want to find my purpose, start working on, you know, identifying where your ego could be hindering your ability, right? To explore your creative passions, to plant the seed for something new, a new creative project that you want to explore. Okay? And approach it from a place of, I'm definitely feeling unconditional love. Okay? Something that is resonant for you. Something that is in alignment for you. Right? And you find that through learning to trust. Learning to trust where your intuition is guiding you. Right? So maybe pay more attention to say, okay, how is my ego blocking me, getting in the way? That might have to be like a future reading that we do. But yes, that is basically what I'm seeing here as far as Spirit wanting you to be open to exploring, right? Because with the aces, these are divinely guided to us. This is Spirit kind of stepping in and giving us something that has potential, right? For us to allow to grow, to develop, to flourish. And we have to, with that Knight of Wands, allow ourselves to have that kind of like unbridled, passionate energy that is leading us towards whatever we might feel we're being called to, right? And just allowing ourselves go from a place of freedom and trust that Spirit is leading us in the right direction versus feeling that we are in some way kind of holding ourselves back. Okay. What else am I seeing here? What else? Yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of really beautiful creative energy, allowing yourself to explore in a way, having fun, trusting, you know, of course, with us exploring things like that, there could be challenges that are there, right? But it's also knowing in a way that Spirit is kind of reaffirming for you that you are being protected. Okay? Knowing that there is opportunities out there, and that when we are in alignment with our purpose, the opportunities are going to be everywhere. We're going to see them. We can decide to put forth the energy towards them, right? Which is also a good indicator when you are really finding your purpose. It could be that Spirit, you're starting to see lots of synchronicity. You're starting to just kind of see opportunity after opportunity kind of flow to you with this energy, learning to trust, right? Things that are resonant for you. Something that's not resonating for you is something that you may feel like you have to force and it's just not working, right? But this is you more or less learning how to tune in to your instincts, your intuition, especially with the dog and the coyote being here. Right? Very keen senses of trusting the vibration, the energy, to help you find something that is in alignment for you with your purpose. And don't be afraid, right? With the Page of Pentacles of planting the seed for something new. Putting forth, laying the groundwork, committing yourself to starting something, beginning something, opportunity. Okay? So I'm going to leave this here for you, pile number 2. I hope that this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, pile number 3. So those of you that resonate with this sweet little Deer of Delta card, this is going to be a reading today, and we are looking, and I'm just going to move this over here. We're looking into how you can find your purpose. So we're getting some advice from Spirit today on how you can find what your purpose is, what you can do, what you need to focus on, to see how you can have that purpose come through to you through spiritual downloads, dreams, synchronicity, things that you're needing to pay attention to, and maybe some things that you may need to kind of work on within yourself so that that purpose is something that is revealed to you from your higher self, from your ancestors, your spirit guides, spirit team. So let's see pile 3, and I will have all of the tarot oracle decks listed down below for you guys. So let's see, pile number 3. How can you find your purpose? How can pile number 3 find your purpose? And I am going to use 2 tarot decks today. So we're going to pull 3 cards from this one. How can pile number 3 find their purpose? Okay, so we do have the 2 of air, which is the 2 of swords. So we do have Libra energy. We have the 7 of water, which is the 7 of cups. Okay, so some of you, I am getting that spirit is kind of helping you to find your purpose through your dreams. And for some of you, the dreams that you're having are confusing. They're making you feel confused, which is not out of the ordinary. It could be maybe there is certain symbolism that is coming through. But yes, Spirit is trying to help you to find your purpose through your dreams. So pay attention to your dreams. You may not understand because Spirit can kind of be giving it to you little by little, revealing to you. Through symbols you see, synchronistic numbers. Some of you can even be through daydreams, your imagination, definitely dreams. Okay. How can pile number 3 find their purpose? Both the 2 of swords and the 7 of cups can both talk about confusion. We do have the energy of the sun. Okay. Okay, let me get into this other tarot deck here. I'm almost also getting here with the 2 of swords energy. Some of you are keeping yourself, like some of you may already know or kind of have a feeling. The 2 of swords energy can sometimes be when we are in denial. We're in denial about something. There's some type of truth or reality. We're choosing not to face. Okay. This can also be stagnation for some of you, keeping yourself stuck or stagnant. I am feeling that the influence of masculine energy is going to be something. Some of you might like procrastinate. And there is a need for embodying the energy of the masculine to help you to find your purpose. You might have many ideas, many different things that you have on your mind. Like, I want to do this. I envision myself doing this and that and this and that. And just so many different things that you might even feel confused. Like, I don't know which direction to go in. But the energy of the sun, which is masculine energy, is about you learning to be more confident in yourself. It's a very empowered energy full of happiness, joy, vitality, our life force. This is solar plexus energy. So some of you, it can be helping to clear energy within your solar plexus, building up your confidence, your self-esteem within yourself, your power, essentially. And with this Two of Swords, this almost makes me feel like some of you might have, I'm getting maybe even blocked crown chakra or blocked third eye. Okay. So working on clearing the blockages there are also going to help. This is backwards. It's all black and white. I'm getting confused. Okay, so pile 3. How can pile 3 find their life purpose? The Hanged Man. I love that. The Hanged Man energy. This is a change or a shift in perspective in the way that you look at things. The Hanged Man is an energy, and look at that. We've got the Hermit too. Beautiful. Okay. So the Hanged Man energy is about us taking a pause. Some of you might have been on pause too long, where you're needing to really put forth the energy of the masculine, which is about keeping ourselves focused, disciplined, coming up with a strategy, a plan, sticking to it, getting things done. The Hangman helps us in that we are able to, in this space, to have a change or a shift in perspective in the way that we look at things. You know, for whatever reasons, you can keep yourself kind of stuck in the Two of Swords. You feel conflicted. You feel torn by two different, say, directions, two different paths, right? That being enough to keep us kind of stuck in limbo, where instead of choosing a specific direction for what your purpose, or you feel your purpose is calling you towards, we choose to take no action. And that leads to stagnancy and potentially more confusion, unhappiness, a lack of fulfillment within our life. So with the Hanged Man, it is a very beautiful, very spiritual energy in that with us taking some time to reflect inwards, that could mean taking a step back from a situation. Let's just say you think about over and over and over, and you're just like, how am I going to figure this out? You stress yourself out. You're confused. When we can take a step back, and that may mean going on vacation, having some quiet time alone at home, shutting out the outside noise, and just practicing mindfulness, meditation, reflection, introspection, because you also have the Hermit here. But it is through that pause where we gain insight, where we gain awareness, where we gain enlightenment, right? Because we're not just spending the time just sitting around and doing nothing. We're doing it in a constructive way that is helping us to figure out what the purpose is. But we're allowing that to be something that Spirit guides to us, leads to us. And when we do have that idea or that enlightenment come in, we then have a very different perspective in the way that we can approach it with the energy of the masculine. And so the Hermit energy is something that Spirit is guiding you to do in order to find that purpose. Because the Hermit is an energy of solitude, a journey of solitude, in which we take some time for introspection, for reflection, inner child healing, shadow work. The Hermit is sometimes looked at as the dark night of the soul. Sometimes this could mean that we're going through a period of a dark time in our life. We could be going through depression. We could be feeling isolated. We can be feeling alone, lonely, shutting out the world. But it can also be that for some of you, like I said, you could stay in the Hermit energy for a long time, too long sometimes, where we're not really focused on making things happen, right? And that's where that Sun energy comes in as something very powerful for you. So the energy of the Hermit is basically you taking time to deep dive into yourself, where you do all of the very deep healing. You do a lot of the reflection, a lot of the powerful work that only you can do for you. This is not looking to someone else for a solution, but rather looking within and listening to your own inner voice through that process of healing. And I love that, because with the Deer of Delta, this is Spirit saying that the way to you finding out what your purpose is through a deep, powerful healing, almost at like a cellular level of regeneration of your very being. Because many of you that chose this pile may have gone through some very, very challenging energy within your life. And when I first saw this card, it made me look at how we have this deer. I'm not sure if it's a mom or a dad deer, but then we have the little baby under here. And it looks like it's nurturing in a way, giving you, I look at this in a way that this is you now, and this is you nurturing in a way your inner child. So this is a very, very deep, deep transformative healing energy. And I will read actually the message from the Delta, but some of you may already be familiar with Delta. So let's get our rest of our oracle cards out here, and then we'll talk about the Deer of Delta. So how will pile number 3 find their purpose? So this is basically Spirit saying here that if you are feeling confused, if you are feeling stuck, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you're being torn in so many different directions, take a pause. Take a pause, take a step back, look within the self. Don't look for answers outside of you, because those answers are within you, through you. Because the Hermit is, being that it is a journey of solitude, this is us doing the inner work. Through the Hermit energy, we find out who we truly are at our core, without the self-limiting beliefs, without the self-sabotaging type of behaviors, without the opinions of other people, without the values and beliefs of society. We understand who we are at our core, and this is where we discover ourself. Our true self is through this energy. And sometimes this stage that we go through in life can be something that is exhausting, because we feel like, when am I going to be healed? When am I going to be done with this? Or when am I going to be doing that? The only way out of the Hermit energy in that space is to go through it. So a big part of this is you honoring that space that you're in. If there's still things that are kind of coming up for you that you need to heal, honor those feelings. Honor that energy that's coming through. Don't suppress it. Let it come to the surface so that you can heal it and release it. Okay? And a lot of that will, with the Hangman energy, is going to come from you changing, and with the things that do come up for you, to change your perspective and the way that you look back at something, right? We can have something that we've gone through that is very traumatic, and so let's just say we constantly identify ourselves as a victim, a survivor, right? We can hold on to that, let's just call it a title, for as long as we need to, but eventually we have to break away from that being who we are, is victim, is survivor, and we can move into a space where, yes, that is once who we were, but who are we without the trauma, without the self-limiting beliefs, without the things that we've gone through? Who are we at our core? And that is what this Hermit energy is you discovering you without all of that, right? We can identify as, like I said, survivor, victim, whatever it is that we've gone through, and hold on to that for a long time. But eventually we come to a place where we can say, okay, I can release that now. I can make peace with it. I can heal it. I can let it go, so that I'm no longer carrying the burden of it, right? But this is very, very deep, very restorative healing that Spirit is wanting you to focus on. So how can pile number 3 find their purpose? We have the Bull, male power, and fertility. Look at that. Masculine, masculine. Maybe for some of you it is healing the masculine. Maybe for some of you it could be wounds that you have surrounding your own masculine energy, or even certain masculines that you may have had in your life. Right? Fathers, husbands, partners, siblings, or your own masculine energy that may be suppressed, or, you know, like, let's just say if you lack confidence in yourself, you lack the self-esteem to be or step into your power. Let's see. How can pile number 3 find their purpose? The golden eagle, enlightenment and success. But look at that. The eagle is in the sky, right? The eagle is in the sky, which makes me think of your hanged man, because the hanged man is the change or shift in perspective. The eagle is flying high in the sky. So in a way, it's you seeing your life, who you are, from a higher perspective. And of course, that's not something that happens overnight, right? But this is in a way Spirit wanting you to kind of peel back the layers in this space so that you are able to gain the insight, the enlightenment, the awareness that's drawing you away from confusion. Stepping into the energy of the masculine, right? To help you to, in a way, execute your ideas, your plans with a powerful force with the bull. But being able to see yourself from the way that Spirit sees you, or your higher self sees you, okay? And the only way to get there is through the Hermit energy, is to go through it. How can pile number 3 find their purpose? Your dreams, right? This can be following your dreams. Some of you might have dreams, like I said, with the 7 of Cups. This is about the dream space. It could be that you do have those messages that come through for you in your dreams. Or because the 7 of Cups can also be our imagination, right? What do you imagine? Where do you see yourself when you see yourself doing something? Something that you love, something that is meaningful for you. What is that? Do you see yourself painting? Do you see yourself singing? Do you see yourself dancing? And that may even come from you connecting back in with the inner child, right? When you were a child, with all of that, and I know it's kind of difficult, especially for those of you that come from childhoods that have trauma. It's hard to kind of go back to that space where you felt happy, because you may not have felt happy, right? But you can maybe go back to your earliest time where you can remember that little part of you, that childlike innocence and nature about you, that dreamt about beautiful, big things and who you were and who you wanted to become and who you pretended you were when you were little, and who you said, yes, I'm going to be this when I grow older, and this is what I want to do, and I love to do this, right? There's some part of you that has that talent, that skill, that hobby, that's something that you are good at within you. So many of you, it could be a dream that you have, that you've always had, that you've wanted to do, okay? But maybe just putting forth the masculine energy to actually reach out for it. Look at how that hand is kind of reaching out for that ring, which I'm totally getting thrown off by this, because I know many of you know that I have a septum ring in my nose, and it reminds me of that. It reminds me of the septum ring. Okay, so let's see. Pile number 3. How will you find your purpose? Your ancestors. Oh my goodness, look at that. your ancestors. This is really beautiful. Okay. So this makes me feel like maybe some of you are needing to do a little bit of digging, right? Those of you like that have possibility, potential of which to look into your ancestral line, learn more about your cultures, learn more about your bloodline, your ancestry, looking there for clues. It may also literally be you working with your ancestors, strengthening your bond and your connection with them so that they are stepping in to help you, to lead you, to guide you towards what your purpose is. So it can literally be you calling in your ancestors to help you, to guide you. But now we're going to go into this delta so you guys can get a little bit more of what this is talking about here. So again, our question, how do we find our purpose? How do you find your purpose, Pile 3? So it says, without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level, because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. Some things can only happen when we let go at the deepest inner level. Regenerative healing is one of them. Shamans of old understood that to obtain transformational awareness, one has to sever themselves from the world as one knows it. So the severing is there with the hermit. Sever themselves from the world is you are on a journey of solitude. And that doesn't mean, I mean, for some of you, yes, it could, that where we cut ourselves off from people, right? We spend time alone. We can do this while still being in a relationship, but we just kind of create me time. Space for you, where you take time to journal, you take time to meditate, you take time to work on you. Okay? Especially if you have families and you're in relationships and you're like, okay, does this mean I'm supposed to leave my partner? No, but take some time for you. Okay? Those of you that are single, right? This can be you taking a look at, do these friendships, do these relationships, do these connections that I have right now, do they serve my highest good? And if not, let them go. The hermit is like that retreat. So it says, sever themselves from the world as one knows it, to unlearn what one once knew, to be reborn. In that rebirth, a new understanding is vitality, clarity, and purpose can emerge. The shamanic realm is the realm of delta brainwave, the state of deep sleep. Here one is completely unconscious. There is temporary paralysis at this level, which allows for the deepest healing and renewal. Here is the gateway to the universal mind is entered, and the precious recalibrating treasures of healing are gained. In Delta, we surrender completely to a great and powerful intelligence far beyond our understanding. So for some of you, this can be trying out, it says 0 hertz to 4 hertz delta waves are the slowest and most stabilizing of the brain waves. This is the state in which the body recovers from injury and the brain has a chance to check off its list of hold on a second. This is the state in which the body recovers from injury and the brain has a chance to check off its list of deferred repairs and healing and restore optimal function. This includes the capacity to learn and the healthy functioning of the immune system, physically and also emotionally, so we are not contaminated or confused by the emotional or psychic workings of the world around us. This oracle brings guidance that the healing you need cannot come from logical sources, but requires a deep letting go and restructuring from within. Consider what practices and people could help facilitate this process in your life. Consider how you may value and encourage deep restorative sleep and regular retreats as part of your lifestyle. Okay? So I love this because this is saying, consider what practices and people could help facilitate this. You have your ancestors here. So this may be a clue for you. Some of you may have, native, indigenous, shamanic type of practices from, or, certain spiritual practices from your ancestry. That may be something that's going to help you with this very deep regenerative type of healing. But this is Spirit saying, this is how you find it, right? This is how you find your purpose, is this deep restorative healing within you. It may even going into spiritual practices that your ancestors may have had. This is also this card saying to take that time for normal periods of rest, retreat, relaxation. You don't have to go on a fancy vacation just to do that. You don't need a whole ton of money just to do that. You can go sit out in the backyard. You can sit out on the patio. You can relax. You can restore. You can just kind of take a break, take a breath, right? Away from it all to really kind of restore in a way. Some of you may even want to try listening to delta waves, right? 0 to 4 hertz. Some of you can even go to meditation classes where they can put you, or even hypnosis, hypnotherapy, or your hypnotherapist can really work to put you into delta, this is Spirit saying, this is very deep, right? We are unconscious here in this place of sleep, right? So this is making sure that you also get sleep where you can, right? Maybe you do something relaxing that really helps you to get into that really deep state of rest, right? Some of you might like to meditate with listening to those delta waves, right? Frequencies that are really help you to kind of maybe find restorative energy in that. Some of you, it is maybe making sure that you are getting adequate rest, right? You're sleeping good. You're, like I said, making time for you. But this is really, really beautiful. So this is basically Spirit saying here, this is coming through healing. This is letting go. This is removing negative, right? Disconnecting from negative energies around us, people. This is you finding strength and power within yourself so you can flow with that spiritual connection that you create with the divine, to be able to kind of open up so you are able to gain that insight, that awareness, that enlightenment that's going to help you to lead you to what your purpose is. And once you get it, because that's what happens in the hangman energy, is we have this enlightenment that comes in, and it forever changes the way in which we look at ourselves, the way we look at a situation, another person, something that's going on within our life. And it can be powerful in that it helps to give us the guidance that we need, so we're no longer stuck in stagnation, confusion, feeling overwhelmed, torn in so many different directions. But we are able to then put forth the energy of the masculine, which is what's coming through here, to lead ourselves towards success and do it with confidence, right? So this is Spirit saying here, pay attention to your dreams, make the time for rest, make the time for inner work, nurturing, healing, deep restorative healing within yourself. And that means doing the work, taking action. Maybe for some of you, it is putting forth this masculine energy towards treating yourself, right? To sacred time, space, giving something back to you. Planning something for yourself, a little retreat, a getaway, a vacation. Like I said, doing it, going outside, something that you just do for you to help you give your soul that deep restorative energy that Spirit is saying you need with this, okay? Whether it's, like Spirit's saying, a deep sleep, making sure you're sleeping adequately, you're taking care of yourself, you are spending that little time by yourself and alone, maybe you're journaling, maybe you're meditating through that, right? Maybe that is also something that's helping you to build up your confidence, okay? But yes, definitely 0 to 4 hertz, okay, for the brainwaves. Maybe that's something you like to listen to during meditation that helps to give you that kind of a little bit of a jump start with that. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here for you. Pile number 3. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading.